Have you ever noticed that the Guardians of the Galaxy aren't really a superhero team? They're more like group therapy with spaceships and really big guns. This isn't your typical story of heroes chosen by destiny. This is a story about broken people finding each other in the vast, uncaring emptiness of space. Let's break it down. None of them woke up one day and decided to save the universe. They were running. Peter Quill was running from the grief of losing his mother, abducted into a life he never asked for. Gamora was running from a lifetime of horrific abuse at the hands of her tyrannical father, Thanos. Her sister, Nebula, was running from the psychological and physical conditioning that turned her into a weapon, constantly pitted against Gamora in a cruel, endless competition. Drax was running from the all-consuming loss of his family, his entire world destroyed, leaving him with nothing but a thirst for revenge. And then there's Rocket. He was running from the memory of torture, of being taken apart and put back together against his will, a science experiment who never felt whole. These aren't just random misfits who stumbled into each other. They didn't find each other by chance. They recognized each other. They saw the same cracks, the same pain, the same desperate need for something, anything to hold on to. It was the silent, unspoken language of shared trauma that pulled them together. In a lineup of galactic criminals, they saw past the bravado and the bluster. They saw the scared, lonely kid, the abused daughter, the tormented sister, the grieving father, and the creature who was never allowed to just be himself. They were all screaming on the inside, and somehow they heard each other. Their first real connection wasn't a heroic pact, it was a prison break. It was a shared moment of desperation, a collective decision that being together, even as a bunch of chaotic strangers, was better than being alone. This wasn't about becoming heroes. It was about surviving another day. So why do they work? This chaotic, dysfunctional, constantly bickering group of outcasts. How do they manage to save the galaxy? Not just once, but multiple times. It's because they don't ask each other to heal. They don't offer platitudes or easy solutions. They don't say, get over it, or you should be better by now. They let each other be broken. They make space for the anger, the grief, the sarcasm, and the self-destruction. Think about it. Peter's immaturity and his obsession with pop culture. It's his anchor to the childhood he lost. They roll their eyes, but they let him have it. Drax's inability to understand metaphors. It's a symptom of a mind locked in literal absolute grief. They don't try to change him. They learn to speak his language. Rocket's abrasive personality and his need to push everyone away. It's a defense mechanism built from years of pain and feeling like an outcast. They push back, they argue, but they never leave him. They sit with each other in their brokenness. When Gamora struggles with the monster she was raised to be, they don't judge her past. They fight alongside her for a new future. When Nebula is consumed by rage and pain, they don't turn her away. They give her a place where she can finally stop fighting her sister and start fighting for her. They yell, they fight. They say horrible things to each other. But underneath it all is an acceptance that is more profound than any superficial kindness. They understand that healing isn't a straight line. It's messy, it's ugly, and it often involves taking one step forward and 2 steps back. They don't demand perfection because they are all deeply, fundamentally imperfect. They don't try to fix the cracks in each other's armor. Instead, they stand back to back, so their own armor can cover the other's exposed spots. They let each other be who they are, scars and all, and that, right there, is why they survive. It's why they win, because their strength isn't in being unbreakable. It's in knowing exactly where the breaks are and protecting them at all costs. This is why the concept of a found family in their story hits so much harder than in many others. For every single one of them, the traditional idea of family was a source of pain, not protection. Blood didn't protect them. Quill's father was a genocidal celestial who gave his mother a brain tumor. Gamora and Nebula's father was a cosmic tyrant who tortured them and forced them to fight each other. Drax's family was violently taken from him. Rocket's creators were his tormentors. The families they were born into, the ones that were supposed to be their safe harbor, were the very source of their deepest wounds. And love, in its conventional sense, didn't save them either. Peter's love for his mother couldn't stop her from dying. Gamora's complicated love-hate for her sister and father was a cage. The pure love Drax had for his family couldn't shield them from destruction. So what was it? What finally gave them a lifeline? Choice. That's the key. They weren't bound by blood or obligation. They chose each other. Every single day, they wake up and choose to stay. They choose to fight for the walking, talking tree who can only say 3 words. They choose to put up with the raccoon with a weapons fetish and a bad attitude. They choose to fly across the galaxy with a man-child who's still living in the 1980s. They choose to stand by a woman forged in abuse and a man drowning in grief. It's a conscious, active decision they make over and over again. They chose to build a family out of the wreckage of their lives. That choice, that deliberate act of creating connection where none existed, is infinitely more powerful than any bond they were born with. This wasn't a family they fell into. It was a family they built, piece by painful, beautiful piece. In the end, the most important lesson the Guardians of the Galaxy teach us is this: broken people don't need fixing. They don't need someone to come along and glue their pieces back together into some idealized version of what they used to be. They need connection. They need understanding. They need to know they're not alone in their brokenness. They need to find other people whose cracks fit against their own, creating something new, something stronger, something that can withstand the pressures of the entire universe. That's the Guardians. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more deep dives. See you next time.